Have you ever wondered if you could direct a movie, but maybe without the whole camera crew and budget? Well, what if all you needed were a few lines of text? That's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to deconstruct how simple text commands can be woven together to create a short, emotional, and visually stunning animated story.
True. But not everyone forgets. Man, that line has some real weight to it, right? It's the entire emotional core of this little story we're looking at. It's all about friendship and memory. It feels so human. So the big question is, how in the world do you teach an AI to understand that, to actually convey that kind of profound feeling? That's the challenge we're going to unpack.
I mean, that's the ultimate goal, isn't it? How do you build that perfect cinematic moment that's just overflowing with emotion, history, and friendship? It's so much more than just making something look pretty. You have to orchestrate everything, the light, the movement, the characters, to create a story that really, truly resonates. But what if your tools weren't a camera or a paintbrush, but something completely new?
And here it is. What if the entire screenplay was just a series of text prompts fed to an AI? Because that's exactly what we're exploring. Every single frame of this animation was literally born from precise text instructions. The script, the cinematography, the art direction, yep, it all started with just words.
Okay, let's dive in. Here's our roadmap for how we're going to break this all down. We'll start with the basic structure, this idea of a story in 30 seconds. Then we'll dig into the master style guide, see how consistent characters are made, and how to direct the AI's camera. Then we'll watch it all come together in the 10-scene narrative arc before we wrap with the big principles for AI storytelling.
So first up, a story in 30 seconds. You have to think about this as way more than just a list of commands. This is a director's blueprint, a full-on screenplay written for an AI.
So, the whole short is broken down into 10 distinct scenes. Each one is generated by a single prompt and runs for about 3 seconds. What's so great about this is that it gives you, the creator, this amazing scene-by-scene control over the final film.
Now that we have the structure, how do we build a world that feels consistent? How do we make those 10 different scenes feel like they belong in the same universe? Well, you need a master style guide. This is where you lay down the foundational rules for the AI.
And the key technique here is something called implicit prompting. Here's the secret sauce. Instead of telling the AI the style just one time, you repeat these core instructions in every single prompt. It's relentless repetition, I know, but that's what absolutely guarantees a cohesive look and feel from start to finish.
And just look at what this aesthetic blueprint looks like in practice. The specificity is amazing. The AI isn't just told watercolor. No, it's told hand-painted with soft brushstrokes, visible paper texture, and even gentle color bleeding. Every single one of these terms adds another layer, creating this really rich artistic world for our story.
All right, next up is time to cast our actors. And just like with the style guide, defining your characters for the AI requires a super detailed and consistent description that, you guessed it, you'll include in every single prompt.
And this slide really shows the level of detail you need. We're not just defining their hair or shirt color. The AI is told about their build, their posture, even their abstract presence. One has introspective body language, while the other has a calm presence. This is how you really breathe life into your characters.
So now we have our world and we have our characters. It's time to actually direct this thing. This next layer of our blueprint is all about controlling the virtual camera to guide the audience's focus and really amplify the emotion of the scene.
And the cinematography for this entire short is governed by two really simple but incredibly effective rules. When a character speaks, the camera shifts to focus on them. And in those moments of silence, the camera performs a slow pan, letting you absorb the mood. This simple rhythm dictates the entire visual flow of the film.
And now, let's see how all of these pieces, the watercolor style, the specific characters, and those camera rules, all come together to bring our story to life scene by scene.
This 30-second timeline takes us on a complete emotional journey. It kicks off with a feeling of abandonment, then moves to a quiet reassurance. It peaks at this moment of profound realization, and it ends with a warm promise of friendship. A whole story in 4 lines.
So let's look at a key moment. Around the 15-second mark, Boy A shows his vulnerability with this line. It's a quiet challenge, a moment of doubt. So how do we get the AI to translate this really complex emotion into visuals?
Well, the instruction is incredibly precise. The camera gently leans toward him, which kind of puts us in his shoes. And notice the environmental cue. Sea darkens as sun dips lower. The world itself is actually changing to match the emotional tone of his words.
And then, here's the response from Boy B. This is the big turning point of the story. It's a line that's filled with so much history and wisdom, so it absolutely has to land with impact.
And here's how the visuals make that happen. The camera slides toward Boy B with a calm motion, giving his words real weight and authority. But at the exact same moment, a catamaran's sail glows orange as it crosses the center of the frame. It's like this perfectly timed visual punctuation mark. It's just brilliant.
So what are the big takeaways from all this? Let's distill this whole process down into a few core principles that you can actually apply to your own creative AI projects.
Okay, these are the fundamentals. First, consistency is king. You have to repeat those style and character prompts relentlessly. Next, layer your instructions. Build from that general style down to specific actions. You've got to think like a director, using camera moves to punctuate dialogue and emotion. Then marry action to words. Make sure every line has a visual partner. And finally, don't forget to pace the silence. Use those quiet moments and slow pans to let the emotions really land.
Ultimately, this is so much more than just a technical exercise. It's a whole new frontier for creativity. It shows that with structure, with detail, and with a clear vision, you can transform a few simple lines of text into a moment of genuine art and emotion. So, the only question left really is, what stories will you tell?